And when that individual comes, I make no apologies for what I'm about to say.
Rough, rugged and real, you're on standstill. To obey your case, so let the man build. Words of rapture that you have to capture. And I just slapped ya with a handful of literature. This dope, deaf, fresh, hype, choice, smooth and raw. Rappers I replace, rub out and erase. Competition, you must be on freebase. Smoking or joking, bound to be broken. Now get your damn hands off the mic that I'm choking. Cause I got a stranglehold. You're still cold on parole for the role you stole. Rhymes that you yell out, but you did sell out. Crossed over, lost over here, now get the hell out. I'm not a pop star, rock and roller. I'm a rebel, blessed, able to hold a mic like a hammer. And drop grammar, treat a rapper like a wrestler. And body slam them. Those who dispute get treated just like a prostitute. They get the boot and played like a flute, so just play mute. Don't even whisper, open your mouth to speak and I'ma dish your ragtag and dog. Put you in the morgue because you're petty, confetti, and not ready to rock steady. In other words, you're half-stepping, tiptoeing, get going. Because my weapon is not a 9, a Uzi, or a shotgun. But when it come to hype rhymes, I got one. Just like the album is still the same. Long live the cane, ain't a damn thing changed. I still get ill and kill at will and build the skill to fill your grill. So don't tell me you're real. We sample beats, you sue and try to fight us. Man, you still be home with arthritis. If we didn't revive and bring back alive old beats that we appreciated, you wouldn't survive. You'd be another memory to us. Ashes to ashes and dust to dust. So understand the way that I live, that's positive. And the message I got to give is a benefit for you and me. I'm talking about P-E-A-C-E. The chosen one that has turned the new leaf. I got gold teeth and they don't chew beef. No pork on my fork, strictly fish on my dish. The cane fallen victim, sucker you wish. I flow like water, slaughter, put you out of order. Floored ya. Rappers are ragging and tagging and snagging and bragging to be on the bandwagon. But I'm the last dragon with the knack to attract the pack. So just get back. I'm young, gifted, and black. And just go with the flow, you know. In the place to be with my man Marley Marl. Sending this out to Divine Force. Can't forget my main man Heavy D. To my good brothers EPMD. And to my man Ice-T over on the west.
Yeah, once again, want to welcome everybody to another edition of Black Poet Matters. For this month, once again, this is a monthly virtual poetry event. So we thank everybody for listening. We thank all of the viewers, all the subscribers, all of the followers. So once again, just make sure you like the page as you're watching it on Facebook, whether you're watching on Instagram, whether you're watching on YouTube. Just make sure you like as well as follow as well as share. So once again, we thank everybody for tuning in and always participating every month. So once again, Black Poet Matters is a celebration and showcase of the Black poetic voice from poets of the African Diaspora who are conscious and brilliant. It is also a celebration of Black music where our souls meet song, sound, and rhythms. And Black poets, the here edition, the truth of their matters, creating a poetic soundtrack for the times. So once again, thank you all for tuning in this evening to this program. So once again, it is as we will continue to rock on and continue to move on, I will be introducing your host for the evening. She goes by the name of Empress Poetry, and you know you've seen her here many times. So we want to introduce you to Empress Poetry. She's a poet, she's an activist, she's a author, she's a mother, she's a motivational speaker. She's Barbados born and bred. Actually, no, she's born in Barbados but bred in Brooklyn. And this culturally rich and diverse combo gives her a creatively unique edge, color palette, and a horizon-wide canvas. So Empress Poetry cleverly weaves language and molds character through the power of the pen. Her signature performance, poetry, captures the delicate intricacies of life. So once again, introducing to all to Empress Poetry.
Good evening, and welcome to Black Poet Matters. I am, as Brother Benjamin introduced, I am Empress Poetry, and I am your host for the night. So strap in because this is going to be an exciting evening. First up on our program is our brother Levan Robinson. Levan is a poet and writer from Philadelphia who now resides in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He is a 13-year veteran of the military and has a 34-year-old son. Levan has been writing for over 40 years and currently has 3 books of poetry on Amazon and Kindle books now. He loves poetry because it shows him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Levan Robinson to the stage.
So you can stop guessing if this is a gift or a written down memo. See, I am a professional. This is not a demo. In fact, call it a lecture, a visual picture, sort of a poetic in rhythm like mixture. Listen, I'm not dissing, but there's something that you're missing. Maybe you should touch reality. Stop wishing for beats with plenty bass and lyrics set in haste. If its meaning doesn't manifest, put it to rest. I am a poet. You try to show it, yet blow it. It takes concentration for fresh communication, observation. That is to see without speaking. Take off your coat, take notes. I am teaching a class or rather school, because you need schooling. I am not a king.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, God. Thank you for allowing me to be on this platform. Great platform with great poetess and poets. Thank you, and it's my honor. My first poem is called Yearn. The pandemic of humanity's hatred for one another is a dark cloud that for its livelihood and light continues to slowly smother. If we are considered truly the sameness, then the damage maliciously done, otherwise no one is exempt for or blameless. Violence and destruction being played out with crying has the end result. The more technological we become, the less human is seen or felt. It's much easier to love your brother or neighbor than hate. Pursuing it to fruition should be the main objective on humanity's to-do list and slate. Let's come and unify together and avoid this tragic journey we're on. Leave a beautiful legacy to follow for the next generations after that's born. Why leave them a world or earth that's so embattled and war-torn? Will we just sit back and watch the earth, our home, continuously burn? Failure to do so now will be a deadly and costly lesson to have learned, while there's still time to practice the vital peace so many of our brothers and sisters have sacrificed and died for to this day that still yearned. In peace, yearn. Limited time is my second one. In the days of the rapture, many souls like cattle, the devil with the tools of fear, lies, and disillusionment will freely capture. Unaware of the devious plan that's been hatched and laid, the enemy is a master of manipulation and spreading clouds of gray in your sunny days. Confusion will be everywhere and long-lasting as the children of humanity dive deeper in their darkest thoughts and of evil within they're constantly grasping. What was prophesied long ago will manifest and unfold. Materialistic things will have more value and worth than the very precious human soul. There'll be no honor and respect among men as the repetition of hatred and self poses its vicious, ugly head time and time again. My eyes cry constantly for what I'm seeing. The likes of humanity seems like they're possessed with evil demons, subliminally controlled are their feeble, unstable minds. soon to become just another lost statistic in a remnants here on Earth within humanity's deadly, faithful, limited time in peace for a limited time. Last but not least is called Shoe to Drop. The Fall of Humanity is a pre-played scheduled event. The all-star lineup is impressive and it's bound to be a smash and huge hit. It won't have to be televised because it'll be happening right before our very eyes. The executive producers and directors are the best at what they do. They're smooth talkers and could definitely pull a woo over me and you. It'll have all the tremors of a Hollywood-produced blockbuster. The actors are ready to sacrifice all that they can gather and muster. The devastation caused by the careless actions will affect the status quo, but will not bring an inkling of long-term satisfaction. The races will be lost and clueless, relying heavily on the leaders to help them to get through this. The challenges will keep piling up one after another as the children of humanity will continue to suffer and suffer. This is caused by us as a whole and one not taking care of the basic and common principles that promote the greatness of our validity. Waiting constantly for the other shoe to drop as we lose our core of divinity daily. In peace, and thank you for the opportunity.
Say something now. Thought so. You seem to be the type that only understand the annihilation and destruction of the next man. That's not poetry, that is insanity. It's simply fantasy, far from reality. Poetry is the language of imagination. Poetry is a form of positive creation. Difficult, isn't it? The point? You're missing it. Your face is in front of my hand, so I'm kissing it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Levan Robinson from PA. Yes. Great job, Levan. Welcome back.
Well, it's good to be back. Thank you, and God bless. And it's good to be back to the powerful platform where poets can be themselves.
Indeed, indeed. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we started off on a very, very good start. So next up to the mic is native Brooklyn of Brooklyn. I'm gonna start that over. The native of Brooklyn, New York, Flatbush Massive Community, program manager by trade and poet and encourager by gift. Melinda Anderson has been writing poetry since 1997 and influenced by Nikki Giovanni and Lorraine Hansberry. Melinda focuses on expressing the love for the arts through written and spoken word. She's a newbie to the Black Poets Matter platform, so please welcome to the screen, Melinda, the mic is yours.
Yeah. Yeah. We sell crack to our own out the back of our homes. We smell the musk of the dusk and the crack of the dawn. We go through episodes too, like Attack of the Clones. Work till we break a back and you hear the crack of the bone. To get by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. We commute to computer, spirits stay mute while your ego spread rumors. We survivalists turn to consumers. Just to get by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. You ask me why some people gotta live in a trailer, cause like a sailor, I paint a picture with the pen like Norman Mailer. Me and Weller raised 3 daughters all by herself with no help. I think about the struggle and I find the strength in myself. These words melt in my mouth, they hot like the jail cell in the south. Before my nigga Core bailed me out. To get by, just to get by, just to get by, just to get by. We do or die like best stars. See the red sky out the window of the red eye. Let the lead fly on some G-rap shit. Live in the lead die.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Empress, for giving me such a warm introduction and bringing me into this platform to be amongst other creatives as myself. So I appreciate the opportunity. So the first piece I'm going to do is called If You Dare to Love Me. I'll be okay. Maybe not right now, but someday I will. But until then, if you dare to love me, I'll need your hand. I'll need your compassion as I work through the process of revving my new engine and learning all my new parts. I'm working through fear of failure and even fear of success, self-sabotage and hypervigilance. Hyper-independence is the forefront of my thoughts. I want to be perfect, even with broken pieces and misconstrued thoughts. I'm starting from experience this time and not from scratch. I'll be everything you need and desire before I emotionally attach. This time around, I'm working from within and coming to you whole. I'm going to give you the purest of me and my entire soul, but only if you dare to love me. Can you see past my complexities that plague my mind? Sometimes I may be present but lost at the same time. Are you still willing to offer me your mind, your hand? Willing to be my stability on the days that it's hard for me to stand? So I'm asking you, how far are you willing to walk with me? How deep are you willing to go with me? And I'm
Is she frozen or are we all frozen?
Yeah, I believe we lost her for...
Yeah, are we all frozen here? What's happening, man?
No, her Wi-Fi signal dropped off.
No, I hear y'all.
So for Melinda, we're gonna need you to start that last piece from the beginning once again.
Yeah, Melly, we go hear. I need to hear that again.
Yeah, because you froze us.
Frozen and we couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry. I apologize about that. It's a storm where I am.
Okay.
The storm right here.
Okay. Sorry about that.
All right, so yeah, just start that piece again.
Sure. Thank you. If you dare to love me. I'll be okay. Maybe not right now, but someday I will. But until then, if you dare to love me, I'll need your hand. I'll need your compassion as I work through the process of revving my new engine and learning all my new parts. I'm working through fear of failure and even fear of success, self-sabotage and hypervigilance. Hyper-independence is the forefront of my thoughts. I want to be perfect, even with broken pieces and misconstrued thoughts. I'm starting over from scratch. I'm starting over from experience. I'll be everything you need and desire before I emotionally attach. This time around, I'm working from within and I'm coming to you whole. I'm going to give you the purest of me and my entire soul, but only if you dare to love me. Can you see past my complexities that plague my mind? Sometimes I may be present, but lost at the same time. Are you still willing to offer me your hand? Willing to be my stability on the day it's hard for me to stand? So I'm asking you, how far are you willing to walk with me? How deep are you willing to go with me? When it's hard for me to see my way, are you able to lead me through day by day? My love, no matter what you decide, I'll still need you to stay. I know loving me is going to be a challenge, but I promise you I'm worth it. I can make a dollar out of 15 cents. I've doubled the worth of your emotional investment. If you believe in me and believe in us, and I'm sure that you will see the power of what the two of us will most definitely can be. I'm working on me so that I can offer you the next best thing, which is peace. Time spent in self-reflection is time well spent. Noticing generational cycles and removing my poor tendencies, a clean me is who I am going to present. You can bet on me because I'm going to commit to our future, our vision, and our dreams. Prosperity, growth, and wealth will bust from our seams. True light beams will radiate wherever we go. Lighten our paths and steps to be anointed will overflow, but only if you dare to love me. Now remember, these guarantees are only possible if you can hold my hand. These promises can only be real if I can lean on you when I cannot stand. When my submission wavers because I'm scared to be vulnerable, I'll need your confident touch to remind me that I'm still honorable, to be loved, no matter what my outward appearance seems like, because you'll receive the depth of me from the inside, cherishing how hard I've worked, because you'll understand the best of me didn't happen overnight. I promise you, you'll receive the best that is yet to come. And if you take a chance and dare to love only me, your best life has just begun. I promise to be your most needed and treasured gift. So allow me to seal this promise to you that is coming straight from my heart with my most softest kiss. You may have loved before, but I promise you my love will take you to the next level. So I dare you to love me and let me remind you of what makes you so special, but only if you dare to love me. And my second piece is called The Princes Women Love. Some of us are still waiting on a prince to bring us out of the shoe, while some of us are sleeping beauties waiting to be awakened by a sensual kiss. I mean, even Fiona had her own ogre. However, those are fairy tales that aren't always our reality. I mean, some of us love lives are straight up, what does love got to do with it anyway? It's literally the infamous limo scene when Tina finally hands Ike that justice that just took too long. I mean, running across highways to escape those type of princes. But what about those princes that make us drive up mountains all alone because we were too fat to fit in the seat on an airplane? I mean, how many of us are Sheilas that are in love with Mike that be hanging around with Trina? Got us questioning ourselves like, why did I get married? I mean, we could learn a thing or two when we have been waiting to exhale from those princes that walked away from the Bernardines after how many years of marriage? I mean, I guess he couldn't drive away because she set that Benz aflame. Now I'm on to poetic justice because no one told us to avoid attracting princes like Chicago, who cares so much about his fate and himself that he never took the time to ask Aisha, what could he do to please her? I mean, aren't we tired of those princes that we fall in love with named Jason, who worked at the TV repair shop that Lyric ran into? I mean, those princes seem so perfect. They are so mate-ish. They are even romantic until a family crisis exposes the curses and the ruins and the baggage. How many times can we tell you that you cannot save a brother that doesn't want to be saved? And don't worry, baby boy, I didn't forget about you. There are the Prince Jodies that we are raising right alongside our kids too, who can't commit emotionally. They are self-centered and ridiculously entitled. They got a room at their mama's house and the nerve to talk ish with a tongue that is unbridled. You see, we are tired of the princes like Dwayne Wayne, who waited until the last minute to understand our worth and to deal with that pain. I mean, we are supposed to say yes to Byron because he knew from the start. He knew that we were the top of the line. We were like expensive restaurants where they serve everything a la carte. You see, these are the princes that we exhaustingly love. Not that we don't believe in true love and that our prince won't show up. It's just that we don't know if we're ever going to get that Love Jones type love, because half of us are still having to be Shirley and calling Barbara up. You see, I'm tired. of those type of princes that we love. Thank you.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Melly Mel. Sis dropped a line I have to repeat. She said, I'm working on you. I'm working on me so I can offer you peace. Do you even understand the depth of finding oneself when you can say something like that? Sis, that was a great set. Welcome to Black Poet Matters, and sit back and enjoy. Up next is Newark, New Jersey's own Stacy Williams. Hip-hop sci-fi geek. Everything he writes is to glorify God. He has a book called Sneakers on the Cross, a book of poems about convention with the streets and God. He has been on college radio stations and also been on the New York radio station WBLS. Ladies and gentlemen, after his intro, welcome to the screen, Stacy Williams.
Brownsville.
Boy, that scratching is making me itch.
First buffalo gal go around the outside, round the outside, round the outside.
You know it.
Everybody? Wow. Can y'all hear me? Oh,
yeah, you good, bro.
Okay.
Good,
My phone is jacked up. I'm on rush. I'm sorry. Hello, everybody. The first piece I'm gonna share with y'all is called My Love. I picture us together every day, but when I'm busy, I ignore her. I love how she lets me express myself without cutting me off. Her chest is flat, but her side is well-rounded. I can't keep my hands off of her. Every day, I want to spill my black ink on her white pages. As I speak of her, many don't understand who I'm talking about. Her name is my notebook. This next one is called A Memorial in Disguise. At a memorial, it was outside. It was in honor of someone who had died. Music played, jazz, gospel, and hip hop. It was different. There was different races, but love was the religion. But every time someone got to speak, all you heard was motorcycles driving through the streets. Who led the service said, look, this is what we'll do. We're gonna rush our dedications before more motorcycles come through. It was bad. I felt for the relatives that prayed to heaven because it seemed here was where hell lives. One person got up. It seemed she stuttered. Y'all are some disrespectful mother. When she was done, more motorcycles came by. To us, it seemed like they didn't care who had died. Some sung gospel, others did poetry. We tried to keep composure, but we felt miserably. We looked at family members, they looked at us. Who was gone that day, now she lives in us. Someone quoted scripture about God's plan for man. One sister sung a song and held a note like it was in her hands. I thought to myself, what the Bible do? I also thought about the noise from all these motorcycles. But then that thought became my enemy. Like a commentator complimenting an athlete, and the next play, he gets an injury. All the motorcycles that ran down the street, they transformed into tears, and they ran down my cheeks. It was touching, as well as awesome. The wheels that rolled appeared like they was walking. They circled around the block and then came back. Today, the highway to heaven became a racing track. Heaven received Trenton's gift. when the earth was offered her. The streets became a Broadway, the motorcycles was her orchestra. Today was the day my ears became my eyes. All the motorcycles was a memorial in disguise. That was dedicated to one of my friends that passed. This one here, everybody, it's called My Bible on the Dashboard. This piece is called My Bible on the Dashboard because that's where it sat like chalk on the blackboard. In my tape deck, Public Enemy stayed in there. Whoever was in the car with me, I didn't care. One day a girl was with me. She said she couldn't see how the Bible's on my dashboard, but I blasted Public Enemy. I smiled for a second from how good she looked. I respected the miss, but she misunderstood. Personally, I love misunderstanding when it happens. Explain to her how in the book of Ephesians, it explains God can do immeasurably more than all we can imagine. She said, Stacy, okay, but why you blasting what the fight do? I said, if I wasn't blasting fight the power, we wouldn't be talking about the Bible. If I would have said to you, let's read the book of Ephesians, you would have said, this is Sunday. This is Saturday, not Sunday. God not going to take up my whole weekend. We both laughed, smiled, and grinned. And another time, it happened again. Sometime later, I gave a fellow writer a ride. We had a conversation about how I praise God. I said, here we go again. I heard silence applaud. He said, the story you wrote is different than the one that's inside the Bible that's on your dashboard. We take a class on writing. Challenging and creating is what I do. I combine science fiction, hip hop, and the Bible. The other writer took it wrong and said my story was wrong. He said, Stacy, I read the book of Revelations. What you wrote in your story, it was wrong. How are you going to use the Bible and write a story that's different? Stacy, people like you is why I don't like religion. I let him vent. He made his own sense. I respected him, so I didn't challenge him. But when he was done, I said, brother, let's be honest. My story made you learn God's story. My mission is accomplished. I'm happy you read the book of Revelations. What you learned, you can share with other people inside another conversation. A few years later, I was with my manager. He gave me and my boys a ride. Back in the days, I wanted to be a rapper. One night, after dropping everybody off, before he got out my car, I felt he wanted to talk. One time he asked me, Stace, why the Bible on your dashboard? When I told him why, we debated God. So I never talked to him about God no more. One reason I kept it there was because it made me wiser. But tonight it hung like scented trees from a car visor. When he got out the car, it was real late. But I kind of felt his emotion said, I need to talk, Stace. I was still excited from the show we just did. My Bible on the dashboard was mad at me because I didn't open it. Let me speed up what I'm trying to say. People ask for help in the strangest ways. Get out the conversation, he got out of my car. I never knew I wouldn't see him tomorrow. Even though God gave him life, he took his along with his wife. It wasn't my fault, but I often think about it. His knife was his weapon. We'll talk about it later, was the culprit. Families cried, but Satan laughed more because of the day I didn't use the Bible on my dashboard. That's it, y'all.
Stacy Williams, Stacy Williams. Well, okay. We are coming up to the end of the first half. So I'm gonna close that out with one piece, and it's actually called That's That Piece. As I lay here, blinded by my afterglow, caught in a mental fog while craving sustenance and libations to replenish me, I breathe. Taking deep breaths as I reminisce on your deep dives in search of my water, never coming up for air. My fear of you drowning excites me. I look into your eyes and reach for you so you know with me there is always safety. Pulling you closer to my lips so you could breathe again. Rubbing my body against yours to keep you warm. Safe from harm, but a sweet hurt won't kill you. I love that you stand at command and give all the attention I demand without protest. I must confess these memories feel like reality on repeat because I still feel the heat from the inferno you ignited. I tried to beat these feelings, but they kept fighting, so I conceded. Allowed thoughts of you to creep into my heart and seep into my soul, become a part of me, fill that empty hole. This shit is awesome. Tease my brain, make joy juice rain. You cause mental orgasms just by looking at me. Your touch like heat to ice cream. None of my dreams prepared me to be electrocuted by your breath upon my skin. I have to fight hard with my urge to give in and let you take me on trips that starts with a kiss but ends in pools caused by waves made in the ocean of our passion. To succumb to you, to let go and let good things come to me. Allow you to search my galaxy to find your place. I look into your face and find my answers. When we plug in, whether it's in a dream or reality, you leave me lying here, blinded by my afterglow, caught in mental fog, while craving substance and libations to replenish me. I breathe, because that's how I know. That's that peace. I am Empress Poetry. Ladies and gentlemen, following me is going to be our DJ, Dr. Benjamin, I'm speaking it into existence, DJ Benjamin, and we'll be back after a brief interlude. This is
Clap your hands, clap your hands, come on, just clap your hands, everybody just hear yourself, come on, hear yourself, come on, everybody just hear yourself, come on, everybody go side to side, keep going, come on.
Mama said, don't you crack and smoke, you know, cause it'll make your nose grow like Pinocchio. Since I was only 15, I had to listen to what was said from a parent who's a Christian. I went to school and so all my friends do it, but I said no.
Yeah, once again, we thank everybody for tuning in this evening to Black Poet Matters. Just feel free to share the video, whether you're watching on Facebook, Instagram, or on YouTube. We thank everybody for tuning in this evening, and those that tune in every month. We also ask for the support for all of the poets that have performed this night, that have their books out there. We put the links for their books in the chat as well.
Jet black crowd, what it's like to be black and proud in a world where white is right, but not tonight. This is a black man's mic. I heard a sister say she don't like darker shades of black on a man, cause that's whack. But to my life skin sister, can't you tell? You're just the surface of a dark, deep well. And how could you prefer to be with those that sprayed you with guns and hoses and never put roses on the graves of the slaves that they treated like dirt after all that hard work? Clap your hands to the beat, come on, and just clap your hands to the beat, break it down.
One of the biggest lies you hear from no one else is when a girl tries to say that she don't do it to herself. Always fantasizing but steadily denying. Last night she had to stop because her baby was crying. She do it on the phone all alone with a smile. Run to water, grab the shower cap and get buck wild. Soap suds on the floor, ooh, I'll be sure. Give it to me, give me a little more. I'm fiending, creaming, screaming, dreaming. What else? The girl's possessed by that bass and dreaming.
Heal yourself, you got to heal yourself. Heal yourself.
Sometimes I rhyme quick. Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. Sometimes I rhyme slower, sometimes I rhyme quick. I'm sweeter and thicker than a Chico stick. Here's an ice cream cone, honey, take a lick. I'll go to Bay Plaza and catch a flick. Want my Timberland boots so I can stomp ticks. Scandalous, get a whiff for this miss. Just left the yard, boy, now I'm blessed. I feel good, per se, good state of mind. Drive a red Sterling and the seats recline. I love it when a lady treats me kind. Go to tavern on the green and have a glass of wine. He say, she say, I heard it through the grapevine. No static, got an automatic. Too much of anything makes you an addict. Teasing, skeezing, also pleasing. Don't ask why, I got my own reasons. Smooth beat, great, nice, slick, nick, click. Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. Sometimes I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick.
We fight every night, now that's not kosher. I reminisce with bliss of when we was closer and wake up to be greeted by an argument again. You act like a 10, so immature. I try to concentrate on the cure and keep at the front door, thinking if I were to evacuate, you'd probably be straighter than straight and wouldn't have so much hate. Cause you don't know the pain I feel when I see you smiling. And when I roll up, you start wilding. So I front like everything's hunky-dory. But it's a whole different story. You don't like the fact that I'm me. I don't put on a show when it comes time for you to have company. And your friends don't understand your choice of man. They speak proper while my speech is from a garbage can. But regardless, you shouldn't have to be so raw. I'm looking at the front door.
Another Pete Rock remix. Check it out. Check it out. Get funky.
I testified, my mama cried. Black people died when the other man lied.
Yeah.
See the TV, listen to me, double trouble. I overhaul and I'm coming from the lower level. I'm taking time, show enough stuff to grab. Black shirts and it hurts with a neck direct to the pole, cause our soul took control from the education of a TV station. But look around, here go the sound of a record ball, boom and pound. When I shut them down, I shut them down.
Shut them down.
I shut them down. I shut them down. I shut them down. I shut them down. I shut them down. I shut them down. I shut them down.
Sip the juice, I got enough to go around, and the thought takes place uptown. I grew up on a sidewalk while on street talk, and then taught to Hawk, New York. I go to Queens for Queens to get the food from Brooklyn. Make money in Manhattan and never been tooken. Go uptown to the Bronx and boogie down, get strong on the island, recoup and lay around. Time to build my juice back up, pop stack up, suckers get smacked up. Don't doubt the clout, they know what I'm about. Knocking niggas off, knocking niggas out, shaking them up, waking them up, breaking them up, breaking them up. Standing on shaky ground, too close to the edge. Let's see if I know the ledge.
You can't mean P-E-A-C-E, cause I've seen people on the streets shoot the next man and turn around and say peace. But that's leaving people in pieces. It's not what the meaning of peace is. To me it means absence of all confusion, not the oozing and bruising that we're oh so accustomed to. Your friend got beat, I'll bust him too. What a brother from a certain way of life explained to me once. Dunce, he didn't realize the fact that he and myself were brothers on the same boat. Now last month he got hemmed up. That's all she wrote, so I could get up where she left the exclamation, looking for an explanation. Little kids think that pieces of words that you use to sound down, and I frown, cause that's what I was told at 8 years old. And now I'm trying to break the mold, so stop the dominoes, because I think it's about time that everyone knows the incorrect usage of the word pieces got disease. Stop fronting, stop fronting, stop fronting, like you know what I'm saying. And on that note, I'll leave you with this.
Brothers are amused by other brothers' reps, but the thing you know best is where the gun is kept. Cause in the night you'll feel fright, and at the sight of a 4/5, I guess you just might wanna do a dance or two. Cause he can maybe bust you for self or with a crew. No matter if you or your brother's a star, he could pop you in jet without a getaway car. And some might say that he's a dummy, but he's sticking you and taking all of your money. It's a daily operation. He might be loose in the park or lurking at the train station. Mad brothers know his name, so he thinks he got a little fame from the stick-up game. And while we're blaming society, he's at a party with his man. They got the eye on the gold chain that the next man's wearing. It looks big, but they ain't staring, just thinking of a way and when to get the brother. They'll be long gone before the kid recovers, and back around the way he'll have the chain on his neck, claiming respect just to get a rap.
I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say think back 22 years ago to keep it on track. The birth of a child on the 8th of October, a toast, but my granddaddy came sober. Count all the fingers and the toes, now I suppose you hope the little black boy grows. 18 years, young stronger than my mama. But I really got beatings with the girl of drama. In single parenthood, there I stood.
Once again, thank everybody for tuning into Black Poet Matters this evening. Thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Make sure you follow the pages for Bassment Entertainment. Subscribe to that channel. Also hit that notification bell. Once again, we're going to get back into the program with our post this evening. And we do ask that everybody continues to support the poets. Also, to remember that the entire collective, we have an anthology called the Black Poet Matters Anthology for the Time, which is a collection, which is a book with a collection of poems from many of the poets that are in our collective. So once again, we're gonna put the link for that as well in the chat, so you can go over and purchase that. We're also gonna put the link for the chats and the links in the chat for the books of the individual poets as well, so you can go ahead and support them. We also ask that you will support the entire movement. You can head over to Eventbrite and search for Bassment Entertainment, and you'll see this event. Once again, you watch it for free, but we do accept donations as well. So once again, we thank everybody for tuning in. So I'm going to turn this back over into the hands of the Empress Poetry, and she's going to continue on with the program this evening and to introduce our next performer.
Thank you. Great set, Brother Benjamin. And welcome back to Black Poet Matters. Like that Brother B mentioned, I am your host, Empress Poetry, and we are going to roll into our second half with Christopher D. Sims. Christopher D. Sims is a writer, performance artist, essayist, and Pan-African thought leader. Combining the culture and history of the African diaspora, he uses truth-telling and storytelling to get his messages across. Unapologetically pro-Black, his aim is to represent Black writing and performance art at the highest levels. He is a published writer and has professional studio releases to his credit. He is also co-founder and co-producer of this platform, Black Poet Matters, a poetic soundtrack for the times. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the screen, Christopher D. Sims.
He looks determined without being ruthless. Something heroic in his manner. There's a courage about him. Doesn't look like a killer.
Well, you know why. I do. We're not supposed to trust anyone in our profession anyway.
Knock niggas out the box all the time. Jump over motivate, rep fake niggas, big bumpers. Yeah, motherfucker. Straight up. I fuck your whole team up. Yeah, bust it. Yo. Now yo, what up, yo? Time is running out, it's for real though. Let's connect, politics, ditto. We can trade places, get lifted in the staircases. Word up, peace incarcerated, Scarface related style, attract millions. Fans, they understand my plan. Who's the kid up in the green land? Me and the RZA connect. Blow a fuse, you lose. Half-ass crews get demolished and bruised. Fake be frontin', hourglass heads niggas be wantin'. Shutting down your slot time for pumping. Poisonous sting, which dumps up and act chunks. Raise a heavy generator, but yo, guess who's the Black Trump? Dough be flowing by the hours. Woo, we got the collars, scholars. Word like peace to power in my whole unit. Word up, quick to set it, don't wet it. Real niggas lick shots, peace, Connecticut. Now yo, what up, yo? Time is running out, it's for real though. Let's connect, politics.
My man's Benjamin B, thanks for that dope intro, bro. And for sure, Sister Empress, thank you for those words. Totally appreciate it. That's who I am. Christopher D, co-producer, co-founder of Black Poet Matters, this blessed platform. I am a word warrior, social sonic sounds infinitely bound to the beauty of the universe, which I bring to life through verse. I'm a word warrior. I use words as weapons to combat ignorance, negativity, and self-destruction. Each word is encoded with instructions to annihilate regressive activity or instilled with peace and positivity so we discover our talents, gifts, and abilities. I'm a word warrior. I'm at harmony with the heaven within. Once I meditate heavily, my diction becomes medicine. Once I focus into and begin, the universe becomes a sacredness that seeps from my pen. I transcend time with reason and rhyme to climb the divine at the same time. I discover the sunshine, creating a revolution of thought, line after line after line. Word warrior, traveler and rebel of our infinite galaxy. With tenacity, I display grammatical mastery. My capacity to defy verbal gravity is just a gift. Naturally, words, weapons, wisdom, grammar, vernacular, diction, language, dialogue, conversation, lyrics, verses, poetical demonstrations. I swim inside the softness of syllables to become liquidly lyrical. My thought Process is rhythmical. When this one individual miracles take place, I embrace the intelligence and elegance of the universe. Out of me is beauty bursts. Word warrior creating cosmic dialect not yet found. I'm connected to beauty, to passion, to fire. I am rhyme and reason. I am rhyme and reason. I am rhyme and reason. It is beyond desire. Word warrior. And that's that piece to get this set jumping off for Black Poet Matters second set. Yeah, we're keeping it going, we're keeping it flexing, we're keeping it going. So, when I become fused, settled into your wordplay, the most beautiful things serenade my soul. I feel like an innocent child, gleefully discovering the certainties of living carefree. Automatically, I want to cuddle in your grammatical gifts and let it comfort, caress, consume, and console me. I want to lay next to your devastating diction and let it breathe softly on my neck and whisper sweet things, then smile about it in my dreams. I want to smile when I hear your spoken word, harmony charming me and disarming the strength I possess, and let each and every word baptize my being and cleanse my soul like water. Because your words are wind soft aloft clouds, sweet, genuine amidst the sunshine, clever daffodils that cast spells at will, and through them I cite the science of hieroglyphics, discover all ancient mysteries, learn of all things important and intricate. Make love to my mind, you word warrior, syllable soldier, lyrical enforcer. Transform me with traditional Greek telepathy. Feed me the vital, venomous vocabulary that I need to proceed. And that's that piece. Yeah, man, we just keeping it flowing, keeping it going. Yo, Benyamin B, that was a dope set, man. You should make a mixtape for the people, man, to show them how you're getting down with this music. For the ones who are listening and the ones who will be listening later or haven't heard. So that's the word. What do I got next coming for y'all? So, yeah, let me dig into this piece here. This is called Sacred Woman. You arrived here into this hemisphere many millennia ago from miles beyond the moon's mist. Legend has it that one breath in your bosom could break the cycle of man and bring rebirth. Woman, you are the earth and every element of the universe. For what reason would any man want to harm, violate, or degrade you? Only a fool would tamper with your treasure. The wind without end sings sonnets to pay homage to your pricelessness of bliss. You are a woman of the wonderfulness of shining stars. Afar into the galaxy one could only find gifts that would equate your divine sunshine. Christopher Donchell Sims' poetry can never be powerful enough. Roses don't possess enough regality. Diamonds lack the luster needed, and gold doesn't have enough gleam to honor you, Miss Supreme. You are the shadow of the unspoken spirits that manifest life. The shadow of the unspoken spirits that manifest life. Shadow of the unspoken spirits that manifest life. Shadow of the unspoken spirits that manifest life. Life, 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 life. Secret of the sun. Whisper of the night. All right, that's that piece, Sacred Woman. To dig deep for that piece every time. Such a sacred piece. So I think this will be my last piece, and I'll bounce out for the next poet. When I become fused, settled into your wordplay, the most beautiful things serenade my soul. I feel like an innocent child, gleefully discovering the certainties of living carefree. Automatically, I want to cuddle in your grammatical chemistry and let it comfort, caress, consume, and console me. I want to lay next to your devastating diction and let it breathe softly on my neck, then whisper sweet things and smile about it in my dreams. I want to smile when I hear your syllabic songs, dancing, romancing, chancing who I am, jamming my song 'cause I belong. I want to slow dance to your dramatic syllabic songs, romance where I belong, and that's right beside you, right inside you. Right beside you with a song as soft and beautiful as your hue. And you're humane and I am humane, and we both come together to overstand. You are in demand. You are a solid woman. Make love to my mind, you word warrior, syllable soldier, lyrical enforcer. Transform me with traditional Greek telepathy. Feed me the vital vocabulary that I need to proceed. Peace, and that's my set.
Give it up, give it up, give it up for Christopher D. Sims, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, yes. All right. So coming up next is Alyse. Alyse began writing poetry at just 12 years old when she realized that singing and songwriting just wasn't enough to satisfy her creative spirit. Considering she believes in being as raw and vulnerable as possible, spoken word poetry became her path to true expression. If nothing else, what's most important to Elise is that every poem she recites, her passion, pain, and love is conveyed and received as fuel to inspire others to create something beautiful for themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the screen, Elise.
You hate too, you crazy for this one.
It's hard not to meet the end, harder to make ends meet. Struggle if you ain't an MC or an athlete, and when you start to see a light, they throw you in the back seat. I know niggas with degrees making bank with them. Same niggas keep it toolie on the waist with them. Screaming big Southside, we outside. Meet me on the 165 and Hillside, where the collie meet the traffic. You got trapping niggas, and they strapping on the block in case you acting different. Man, the ghetto ain't no place for a weak mind.
Hey, thank you for the intro. So, my name is Elise. I'm a spoken word poet from Jamaica, Queens. That intro right there is called Av Baby. It's from my friend Petty. She's also a Southside Jamaica Queens head, so definitely you can look into her too. So my first piece, I might as well just tell y'all about myself. I am a woman of the night. I drown in drink so that I can silence the thoughts in my mind, one drink at a time, knowing I'm not being kind to my body, but it just feels so damn good. Not to overthink, not to rehearse scenes that may never be played out. For a moment, I'm me. Maybe a bit too carefree, but at least I'm living. When I wake up tomorrow, I can be forgiving, but right now, I'm living my glorious sin. Right now, this is how my life begins. Weekends are all I need. And of course, my liver soaked so that the me inside my mind is no longer choked and hiding behind the thoughts that constantly leave me lost or questioning more of how I should be. In the night, I am free. There are no voices in my head yelling to let me be. There is no other versions of me. See, she'll never fight, just dance and climax to new heights. She inhales life with a thirst that quenches better than Sprite. No spite in her heart. For once, she's not falling apart. Everything is as it should be. See, she knows that if she was home, she'd be curled up in fatal fetal defeat, gripping her knees, shaking and praying for her sanity, because this life ain't never been easy. She gives life all she can, and every time she gets enough air to breathe, it's like life crushes her windpipe just enough to self-repair, never fully leaving her in despair. It's like her self-care is a mutant. So she figures, I figure, why try? When the reasons to abide are the same reasons that you cry, are the same reasons that you die. Why? When they say tomorrow isn't promised, so why can't I be the woman of the night every night? Why can't I fight my demons with a little bit of help? Do we always have to be brave? Why can't sometimes we be saved? Do we always have to know what to say? I know I'm comfortable in my shades of gray because not everything is black and white. Sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's red, and sometimes it's just all a dream. Thank you guys. That was my first piece. I'm gonna go straight into my second piece. I wrote a letter. I was dealing with a guy, and pretty much he got me in my feelings, basically. So I went home, I got a pen and a paper, and I wrote a letter, and I said, "Dear this man's mama, how did you anticipate the life of your son? Was it one where he reaches for the sky but skips over and gets the sun, leaving darkness on everyone because his ass is too greedy? Never realizing that he's so needy because of the daddy that got off of raising someone so damn freely? Now, here his ass is diving in pussy like it's his only lifeline, discarding one woman at a time because he can't make up his mind. See, drama has been his only fashion since pussy has been his only advocate. In his mama, well, his mama never knew how to raise a man. See, it was a man just like him who got to you. Why didn't you think to ever break that cycle? Because a man is going to be what a man is going to be, right? Well, maybe if you never let your son be your man, he might have been all right. Having to protect and provide, hold you up when no other man would. See, you looked at your son for everything he would have never understood. Of course he loves you, puts no one above you. But did you know that deep down his soul is filled with hate? All these feelings are misplaced. His childhood was erased, and in order for him to know his name, he needs some woman to scream it so that he is no longer numbed and living in vain. Not knowing all the pain that remains started with the monster mommy made. Your son thinks he's being a man now. See, he was all you had. Every mistake didn't matter. Every heart he broke, fractured, and shattered was just another daily tragedy. And why would you care when his daddy did the same to you? That man left you bitter, but instead you ensured you was going to be all right. Knowing as a single black woman, you was going to keep this ship tight and give life your very best fight. To be honest, I'm not even mad at you. Nah, fuck that. See, I had to be the one to point out the many wrongs. See, I was raised to care and offer those hindered peace of mind. And now I know life ain't never been kind, but I'll be damned if another son gets raised to think that he can creep up on my daughter to take what doesn't belong to him. Coerce her into believing he's her friend, then go for the kill to leave her labels as a bitter black bitch when she just wanted to love him. Teach your son to love and respect women, not to be the man that his daddy never was, because you can't get that man back. So make his son someone a woman can trust and love. Signed, a good woman. Thank you. That was my second piece. I'm just going to jump into the next one. This is a poem I wrote with my father, pretty much after all of my failed relationships. So my father told me, I forgot the poem. My father told me I was scared to be in a relationship. So naturally, I denied it. Said I was just trying to focus on who I am, give myself some time to understand what's missing in myself. See why I keep giving the very best of myself, even when it's not the best for myself, because I love just a bit too easily. I see potential and I give into it greedily. I am a garden of love, though planting seeds in experimental loneliness will never give life to nothing but toxic waste. Still, I gazed and watched them grow because my mindset is different. I truly believe that you should carve out a path of positivity, even if it takes you giving out your last. I'd think of the God in me, how he could sacrifice his life for things unseen nor believed, but still knew his vision would be seen, and in turn, he didn't ask for anything but for you to believe. So with love, I'd ask that you believe in me. Serve me your problems so that I can eat your flaws and digest your serve me your problems so that I can eat your flaws and digest your insecurities, yet savor the flavor of your vulnerability. Just let me see you. But then I realized you couldn't teach me how to need me. You couldn't teach me how love speaks, how love teaches, or how to feel complete. It took me to be broken to see that I need to be careful with me. Not everyone is ready for the love I bring. My obliterated thoughts is a love that shakes your senses and have you able to see what love sounds like. Tasting the feel of my skin with only my scent, knowing each word I write is a reflection of every moment we've spent. Hanging your self-sympathy for my empathy so we could play symphonies of strength. Being the only guardians of our galaxy to protect this orb of love, because we possess a threat of true love. Knowing he'll never have to question his place if I'm standing right there beside him. Never on his back to ride him, but provide him with knowledge. I just want to love him. But it's too bad he doesn't exist. At least not now, so I pull back the reins on my eager heart so that love won't beat me back to the start of this never-ending race. See, I know my father has every intention of me being happy, so yeah, Dad, I am afraid. Afraid to love someone who could never love me in the same way. Thank you. So I'm gonna just jump into my last piece. This is for anybody that pretty much, if people make you feel like a bad person, ultimately to know you is to love you, and you need to stick with that, and I needed to remind myself of that as well. I'm convinced I have more than one heart. It's the only logical explanation for why I'm still here when I know I felt my heartbeat snatched right out my chest. More than just once. And I'm sure after all the many arrhythmias that it sped up too fast and just stopped. I remember once that it felt so hollow because it sank too deep and I couldn't breathe. I'm positive I felt my heart explode. at least twice. My heart's literally been broken more times than you can count, but I'm sure you'd say it's because I am strong that I'm still here, or I'm immortal, but I am nothing of the sort. I am just kind, and that doesn't take much strength. I'm not a perfect person, mother, daughter, sibling, or friend, but to know me is to love me. I like Mickey Mouse a lot. I often imitate British accents because I am good at it and it makes me feel happy. I find joy in singing around the house even though I can make ears bleed, but I am content with knowing that I can hit a note or two. I have at least 8 different laughs, each vary in pitch, but everyone's favorite seems to be my giggle, so I pray it remains infectious. I believe I am the definition of passion and there's nobody that can tell me otherwise. I love the sight of the moon at night and sitting beside water as it ripples, waves, or crashes. I often sit and pretend I am one with the earth, still and free. I sometimes picture me being Rose from the Titanic when the wind blows a nice breeze on me, like most people, I think. My favorite date was going to Chuck E. Cheese. It felt good to know that I can make my ex's childhood feel complete, even though he was 19 and had never been. Seeing the smile spread across his cheeks as we played and stole some kids' tickets was priceless. I give and make amazing gifts. I am in love with love, to the point that it could be considered an unhealthy obsession. However, I love the movies, The Notebook, and Set It Off. I think that they speak volumes about me. I am a hopeless romantic, and even though life gives me hell, I'd be nothing without my friends. I often give too much of me. I believe in being understanding to a point that is so undeserving, but you can't tell me not to listen. I could be irrational. I cry for everything. I fight hard for what I believe in. I try my hardest to believe in me. I sometimes find it hard to breathe when somebody leaves me. I pick myself apart like a scab because I can't deal with seeing an imperfection on me. And I genuinely love so hard that my emotions get the best of me, and I body slam every fear I have just so my daughter can manifest her destiny confidently. I struggle with depression 40% of the time. 30 goes to anxiety, 10 doubts, 20 doubts, 10 fears, but who I am will not reflect all of what you never get to hear. I am thoughtful. I am kind. I write notes or affirmations to myself to remind me that even when I feel unworthy, I am worth everything. I sat and wrote this poem to remind me that even when somebody makes you feel bad, to know me is to love me. 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 Thank you, guys.
This is Black Poet Matters, and ladies and gentlemen, that was Alyse. Sis, you make me proud, you make me proud. All right, coming into the final lap. Up next is one of my favorite poets. Chris Slaughter graduated from Hunter College with an MFA in creative writing, where he received a Schuster Award. He also obtained a MSED in Students with Disabilities and a degree in English, concentration in creative writing from Medgar Evers College. He has received fellowships from Cave Canem, North Country Institute for Writers of Color, and Brooklyn Poets. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, he dedicates himself to finding creative ways to teaching, being a dad, and exploring different avenues in writing. Chris is a 7th grade general ed special education teacher in East New York, Brooklyn. He is working on his new manuscript, Dig. Ladies and gentlemen, Brooklyn own Chris Slaughter.
No fear in my eyes, what he looking at? Better look on map. Besides, me not like the eye fight. Me not think such a thing is worth a man's life. Right. But if a man tests my style, I promise he won't like my reply. Boom, bye-bye like Bourgeois. I'm crucial, I'm a Brooklyn boy. I may take some getting used to. Chain snatching, ain't have it, gotta get it. Same from Brownsville to brain British. Fatherless child, mama put double shifts, so the number runners was the only one to hang with it. Before you know it, I'm in the game.
What's up, y'all? Y'all can hear me? Cool. All right, I'm gonna just run through some poems, man. I'm gonna read some stuff that I never read before. I'm gonna get a little vulnerable with y'all. So I'm gonna just go straight through, no intros. Okay. How to heal. 1, don't text good morning when the night pulled you apart. 2, hold on to as much of yourself as you can when you're up to your neck in a memory. 3, ask God and your ancestors to circle you when the lighthouse goes dim. 4, there will be rust from all of the rain and floods, bathed in baking soda and steel wool. 5, only talk to those who too have almost drowned. 6, being a dreamer only pulls you further under. Breathe in concrete, not air. 7, stay away from songs that grab you by the neck with tears in their eyes. 8, the only way to heal may destroy you, but don't think of it as hard. Think of them as human. 9, be brave, especially if this isn't your first time being turned to ashes. 10, hide. You're the only one that can find you. 11, stop relying on the one who closes for closure. 12, become friends with the wreck and all of its debris. 13, pull yourself together, it's a new day. 14, stop playing that fucking song. 15, avoid the prison of dreaming their heart will leave you where it belongs. 16, allowing someone else in your bed right now will not free you. 17, the word maybe is a gorgeous criminal. 18, the truth may be too much to hold. Just accept the parachute you've been given. 19, how music is made. The first time I heard my mother having sex, a Cadillac backfired next to a church full of empty pews. No wall separated our rooms, and I was too young to understand the music a bed makes when the floor is uneven. It sounded like a tap dancer heel-toeing with one shoe. How can you hide in sound hard to motif? I wish I could have held my ear's breath. Maybe this was some new form of Holy Ghost breaking mother from woman. She must have forgotten I was there. Her boyfriend was trying to show me what a man was made of. It was as if he heard me listening with my entire mind. I didn't move. I didn't want them to think I was dancing. Only grown folks are supposed to know that song. The music she said that I know nothing about. Slapboxing. The young girls just a few feet away watch How to Love when two boys squared up with open hands, like two praying mantis on one leaf. The world moves after each pair meets their way of mercy amongst friends. When a nose starts to bleed over a crowd's thirst, the heart beats the palm to an open-handed punch. This dance is sacred. It should only be done when music fails of touching. When a hand meets face, the sound is a ghetto breaking itself. And like a 3-card Monte combination sent from an unmarked grave, it's against the law to ball a fist or sin to go to the body unless it's a feint or a shortcut reflex. If for some reason knuckles make their way into this place of worship, a new agreement is open. An old friendship could lose its way. This is violence in puberty, slapboxing under a streetlight that wishes it was the sun. How to be a good side dude. 1, it isn't your place to love her outside of arm's reach. 2, if her partner finds your number, send notes by way of wild pigeons. 3, you're replaceable. 4, don't pray to the normal God. As it's done, don't laws. Try to remember that her husband reminds you of your father. 7, to ask her if she loves you is like being chained and fastened upside down in a tank of water, trying to loosen the cuffs. 8, hell will never freeze over. 9, find a woman who sees you. Find a woman who sees you. She needs to know that someone else can love you. 10, if by chance she gets pregnant, pray to your designated God. 11, you're a small island in the middle of an ocean. Let her swim to you. 12. Learn to dance with your skeletons instead of burying them. 13. Be clear. Only your ear, shoulder, and dick matter to her. 14. Rule of thumb. Don't cuddle with her after sex unless you slipped up and told her you love her and meant it. 15. Try not to love her. 16. Cameras have big mouths. 17. Never ask her to leave her husband. This should be number 1. 18. Don't forget, you're not a floating device. You're the water. 19. Listen to whatever she has to say about home, but never imagine yourself there. 20. Remember number 10? If the child ends up being yours, this is the only time you accept her risking home. 21. Don't bring other men down by being a bad side piece. This here is part 2 to the Newer Testament. Autumn. If you're reading this, you've moved out and in a new freeing place without anything to do with me. All of this trauma and space left to closets and cabinets. The leaves are orange and brown. It is fall, the season of balance and letting go, the season of harvesting and starting over. You were an undiscovered superstition turned joy. How did things get so heavy-handed? My vulnerable side became a felon with an ugly mugshot. Dialogue hung heavy. Brownies, bad jokes, how we survive. On Saturday, you music, dance, and sang like you looked possessed by the tunes. Some of the only time you looked free. This is all an extraordinary blur. These leaves look like falling butterflies. I kissed features of you while you slept, made sure the doors were locked and the girls weren't nightmaring. A few weeks ago, you cried on the coldest day of November. I held you as if there was a cliff on the other side of you. I sat my own hurt on the bookshelf, if only for a few minutes. There were smoke signals I couldn't read from the burning house that fell and continued to fall around me. Lately, I've been stevieing. I never dreamed you'd leave in summer. I thought you would go, then come back home. I thought the cold would leave by summer, but my quiet nights are spent alone. This entire song is a eulogy for every season. Bad news with oddly shaped burdens. Love is a brand new antique, a zoo with a rotted fence. We allowed the nasty weather to enter our home. Maybe we were beautiful flames. In the name of love, I held a gun in my pocket, ready to defend your name with every caliber of barrel, all to convince you that I was enough. Every day is far from being better yesterdays. My idea of respect walked like control to you. I broke its legs, but it crawled like power to you. Today, you're closing on a new home, and I hold back a final please, but instead, I swallow it and hope you fill the shoes and drain the puddles. I gave up the ghosts, walked the boardwalk on the late night mornings to listen. I'm not okay, but I've been practicing how to calm this chokehold into a decent hug. I slapped on the edge of the bed as if it could dream into an apology of guilt. To be brave isn't fair. I'd rather be a love wreck. No good ass dreams revisited. To the scholars and the insane, to the insane scholars, the homeless and nephews of the gutters, this second right now would be similar to others if it wasn't for my mother who howled at a jailed half moon in dark Caesars. This laundry is too dirty. My father waves a Bible, robbing the hopeless in large hats that keeps the lights on. A library is the best whorehouse going out of business. An old-fashioned ruse. I sit on the beach with my back to the water. My cat barks like a dog. Fuck the dance. It's catching the beat that everyone is afraid to be without. This was created to loosen grips from around guitar necks, from around guns, from around these no good ass dreams. My aunt took a handful of pills until her hand fell limp on the edge's bed. If only a prayer worked like my mother think it does. If only I could stop making everything and every excuse for being growing up without a dad. All right, I'm out, y'all.
Blessings, brother. Give thanks.
Yes, Chris Slaughter, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Slaughter. Every time he slays. Okay, well, we're about to anchor this show with Econzi Musa. She is a mother and a poet who works avidly in the community, assisting with resources, skills, and employment. She started putting her matters to paper over 25 years ago and watched her writing grow like blooms in pen. In 2010, Econzi was a featured artist in Rhythm and Rhymes, Fresno, California. Born in Fresno, she is a longtime resident of Oakland, California. After an extensive break, she is returning to the scene without apology, ladies and gentlemen, to anchor another month of Black Poet Matters, my sister Econzi.
I wake up in the morning and I flash my natty dead, yeah. Give praises to the Most High, Jah Jah. Then the whole are fresh, ready for the worldwide pressure. It's a heavy like a lead. I deliver this a message with a vengeance to the head of over my head. To your head, yeah. Time to settle the score. The poor can't take no more. Babylon rotten to the core. The shit still run by a whore, yeah. We not go bow. Yeah, yeah. All you intellectual fools now.
Blessings. It's a great day. I give thanks for being here. This has been a very trying yet a very blessed season. And I just give thanks to the Most High, yeah, that I'm able to even participate today, that I was able to even see the light today and go through all of that I've gone through in the last month and a half or so. So I have 3 short pieces to share with you. This first piece is entitled African Man. His spirit is pure by the force of Yahweh's refining fire. Once on the path of righteousness, he can only go higher. Intuitive, spiritual, masculine, and down to earth in his rightful season of a rebirth. O African man, envy of all mankind, stand firm. Your queen knows your plight and will assist you with all her might. As the leaf of a tree nurtures the root and the root nurtures the leaf, let our works be together be the cause of strength and sustenance to this family's tree. There's just something about my beautiful African man with the strongest bloodline deeply rooted in the motherland. From the darkest of berries, oh so sweet, to the milkiest of chocolate one could seek. Your eyes are like fire, your nose broad and strong. For those who can't see it, something's got to be wrong. Gorgeous you truly are. I love the kinks on your head creating your natural crown, even the tight coil springing from your beard towards the ground. There's just something about my beautiful African man. Come to think of it, it's greater than what meets the eye or the hand. So my son, hallelujah, my son just turned 21 last month. And after 3 days of labor and 21 years, I birthed this poem for him. It's called My Yah-Given Treasure. Hallelujah for the day that you were born. Now 21 years later, upon your head, a crown you adorn. You've been a blessing to your parents and all you've come in contact. A wise, funny, and independent wordsmith who deals with integrity and tact. Facts. Boy, I'm gonna tell you, you've always been a leader in your own right. By the strength of our strong tower, your favorite phrase at 4 years old was, I got the power. How profound it is that I gave you the name Yamani, and how you're living up to it. It means man of Yah. You're living up to the meaning of your name. They are one and the same. You're caring, compassionate. The community over years have given feedback. You look out for others, and you speak up on Slack. On your 20th birthday, you expressed to me, don't live life in fear. Because you jumped out of a plane just to make your point clear. My dear, you are my God-given, Yah-given treasure, blessing to the nation. A righteous, blessed, and authentic man, not just some imitation. Happy birthday to my son, Yamani. And then this last piece, it's for my mother, my queen mother, who will be celebrating her birthday on October 19th. So, Mom, this is for you, Queen Mother. Wife, mother, daughter, sister, and friend. Artist personified with a steady hand. Seamstress, master chef, and poet supreme. The blessings you have only a sister could dream. I am ever so grateful for the woman of God you are. I'm cherishing the light in you that can be seen from afar. You raised 5 children to praise God and give help to those in need, to maintain our humility even when we succeed. Thank you for never playing us against each other. You drove in the point. We are the keepers of our sister and our brother. I am the youngest and vividly remember. You led us in home Bible study, baking contest, soul train lines in the living room to see whose moves were the best, Friday night dinners at grandma's place, your lemon meringue, sweet potato pecan pie, everybody wanted to taste. Water fights on triple-digit days, you would start and end it. We all know who really plays. I'm glad you showed your daughters how to walk with some class. Vulgar is not sexy, exposing your jewels to the mass. You prepped us before we left the nest to follow God, live clean, and do our best. Domestic violence, you educated us on. When love and respect end, that's the cue to be gone. Thank you for your patience with me throughout the years. Nothing beats the warmth of a mother's prayer after I've talked through my tears. You praise Yah without any apology, whether a song or dance. It's gonna be. Even your name, Joyce, defines you to a T. A happy, joyful disposition is your personality. You are the epitome of superwoman. Yah's ingredients created a masterpiece. The outcome was you leading a home full of joy, love, and peace. Torah, shalom, and thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. All blessings.
Yes, and happy birthday to your queen mother. That was Econzi. Well, we have completed one more session of Black Poet Matters, and before we wrap it up, we have a tradition where we call the cipher. And with the cipher, each of the poets that perform tonight are going to come back and drop a one-liner or a 1-minute piece. So we're going to start from the top with Levan, followed by Melinda, then Stacy, then Christopher D. Sims, then Alyse, Chris Slaughter, Econzi, and we'll tie it up.
Okay. Here's my poem called All in All. without love, there are no major issues because it's so genuinely beautiful and quite official and not based on the superficial. My feelings for so long I had put away on the back of the shelf. When I met you, I had to dust off the cobwebs because you presented me with a love that was gentle and heartfelt. I fell deeply in love right then and there. Never in my life I would ever believe that someone else I could feel this way and care. You have instantly brought into my life and world a brand new perspective and pointed out the power of the divine principles of love and its objective. I admit change didn't come overnight or even a day, but it was worth the wait in so many ways. Now in love and a strong foundation, I stand proudly tall with the love that has given me so much joy, pleasure, blessings, and happiness when we both unselfishly give our all and all in peace.
Melinda.
Yes. How does one define trauma? I am not speaking of physical injuries that wound bodies from just inanimate objects. I am referring to the traumas that inflict injuries because of mental or emotional distress. I am referring to the type of trauma that leaves wounds so deep that it rocks a person's soul to the point that they lose control. I'm talking about wounds that are bloodless, but they still bleed. Cuts a person so deep that they can't even see. The multiple scars that heal and then are reopened by new episodes, all because a person didn't take the time to heal. What your trauma makes you believe is that it is who you are and who you should be. Heal your past and do so without an apology. You'll thank yourself later when you are looking and feeling healthy and your inner peace is what truly defines you as wealthy. Heal, don't just forget.
Yes, sis. Stacy.
My strength to go on and feel like I lost it. I know I gotta be strong, but Father, I'm exhausted. To get closer to you and your son, I wanna be nearer. It's just lately I feel my life is going backwards, like worse inside the mirror. And I know that I'm blessed, even a blind person can see it. And Father, I know I'm covered inside the blood, but was Jesus Christ anemic? That's stupid to say. Sometimes dumb things just pop inside my mental. It's just lately when I pray, I don't know what to ask for, like a restaurant without a menu. I then heard a voice. You want to know why you try to see me, but you can't? Because you don't see me as the Almighty, but as a genie inside a lamp. You don't follow me. You bother me, like I'm your apostrophe. My spirit dwells in you, but your spirit doesn't dwell in me. The day you were born, Satan laughed when it happened. Now you're losing your faith because something bad happened. You're just a man. Bad things are going to happen. But if you study like you should, you will see those bad things before they happen. I still love you. That's it, y'all.
Christopher D. Sims.
We need powerful, empowering poetry. Poetry that promotes positivity. Poetry that encourages people to progress. Poetry that gives birth to revolution. Black folk need poetry that gangsters the grime in the ghetto. Poetry that gathers gutless men, graceless women, and guiltless children to guide them back to greatness. Poetry that disintegrates crack and evaporates alcohol so that we don't continue to fall into destruction. Poetry that gives birth, poetry that gives birth, poetry that gives birth to revolution.
So, Alyse. Okay, Chris Slaughter.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do one for Sandra Bland. Name of this poem is I Will Light You Up. Rigged be the parachute that refuses to open when landing on a highway cursed with too much hate, to let go or be let go or go let be. Language is never enough when vanity and power wakes up on the wrong side of a hard bed with hammer on hip and badge over heart. No ghost, animal, or human is resting. Somewhere a cat is hissing out of a window. Everyone wishes a motherfucker would, but when a motherfucker does, both the silence and lack of verb finds refuge under skin. Please, 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 the words to die in custody, stepping out of a car when there's no ground, no place to make illegal turns or signals, walking off camera until there's no more her, no more sky, no more day. This is routine. Routine is the day. Kill the woman, the child, kill the mouth and the body. Will follow unwillingly. Don't ask her to rest in peace. Ask her where she wants us to bury him.
Yeah, Sister Econzi.
That was powerful, y'all. That was real powerful. Ooh, let me catch my breath. How profound it is that I gave you the name Yamani, and oh, how you are living up to your name. It means man of Yah. Your life and the meaning of your name are one and the same.
Yes, yes. Well, I don't know if I'm allowed as the host to jump into this cipher, but I'm jumping in anyway. He said last night, wow, I was thinking last night, how? Because last night, the way we made love was magical. I think I heard him say angelical. He wrapped my locks around his fingers and encouraged me to release my pain, so I did silently. See, he had me open at the word intimacy. Now, many understand how that hits differently, but he does. I could tell by the way he held me after the aftermath, counted every beat of our hearts from the moment we started to dance. He wasn't trying to get into my pants. He wanted to be at my center. Said he found my trauma and laid it to rest. Then he put his lips upon my chest, declared he is here to stay until every remnant of fear in my heart to depart. He said, I met you, Empress, and you were fierce. That's why every bubble of defense you've wrapped your love into, I am here to pierce, so that your sweet love can flow freely. See? Intimacy. And that's part of that piece. So it was a pleasure being your host tonight. Tonight was definitely another fire set. Thank you to Brother Benjamin and Brother Chris for providing this platform for us every month. Much love to all of our viewers, everyone out there. Please, please, please click, like, share, do everything that you got to do. Subscribe. That's it. I'm your host, Empress Poetry, and good night. Oh, I forgot. Thanks to all the poets, all the newbies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes.
Brother Benjamin, take us out.
Legalize it. Don't criticize it.
Yes, so once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in this evening. And before we go, we just want to make sure that everybody does like, follow, subscribe to the channels or the pages that you're watching on as well, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. Also, those links in the chat for all the books from the poets, just make sure you click on that so you can save it, bookmark it, so you can support as well. And do remember that we do have an anthology with many of the poets that we have in our collective. So you're gonna make sure that you can get that book as well. So once again, as we're taking it out with some music, just a little bit of Peter Tosh, we'll be honoring his birthday this week.
Them call it ganja. Never mind, got to legalize it. And don't criticize it. Legalize it, yeah.
And also we thank everybody for tuning in the entire night, because we know that you could have been watching the battle tonight. Well, we thank you for taking time out. You can always watch that battle after it's over. So we thank you for tuning in tonight live as well.
And players of instrument too. Legalize it, yeah, yeah. That's the best thing you can do. some great men who've been fighting for rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for rights. Recall them. Recall them. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for rights. Recall Paul Gogh, recall Marcus Garvey, recall Nelson Mandela. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for rights. Let's recall some great men who've been fighting for rights. Oh yeah. Recall them. Sitting here watching fools by themselves when they should all be thinking of getting to know themselves. While life goes on, everyone's got to stand strong. You can't surrender, no. Giving your heart and soul to vanity, makes your life filled with pain and misery. While life goes on, everyone's got to stand strong. You can't surrender, no. Oh no.
Say when I'm ready, you must hold on steady. We're moving off at lightning speed, yeah. Take a seat and wait till I'm ready. I'm coming, so hold on steady, yeah. Big ship sailing on the ocean. We don't need no commotion. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Whoa, yeah. Say big ship sailing on the ocean. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Whoa, yeah. There's a time when the sea gets rough, the wind is blowing and the fishes keep moving. What are you doing, Mr. Man? Sit down, hold on tight, get ready, cause we're sailing. Big ship sailing on the ocean. And we don't need no commotion. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Get ready, cause we're moving.
Police in helicopter, I search for marijuana. Policemen in the streets, searching for cali weed. Soldiers in the field, burning the cali weed. But if you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the cane fields. If you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the cane fields. Soldier in the herb field, burning the cali weed. Police in helicopter, I search for marijuana. Policemen in the streets, searching for cali weed. But if you continue to burn up the herbs, we gonna burn down the cane field. If you continue to burn up